More and more Democrats are leaving the Democrat Party because of how embarrassing their continual behavior is. I would be so embarrassed if I was a Democrat. Would you please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel? So this first one is pretty big news. This is an LA County Sheriff, Alex Veneuela, who announced that he is ending 44 years as a registered Democrat. That is how you know that the Democrat Party has hit an all-time low, that somebody could spend their entire lifetime committed to this party and then decide to leave. Let's hear from his own words how bad it has gotten.
As of today, and if you have cameras, get them rolling. Share this on social media. As of today, I'm leaving the party of paid protests, purple hair, and pronouns. I'm joining the party of faith, family, and freedom.
Wow. Faith? Did somebody pull out a Nokia? I mean, what is this? There's about 20 pixels on the screen right now. I wish that this was recorded in a bit higher quality, but the message was so good. The message was in 4K. Paid protests, that was my favorite one. I'm glad that Democrats, well, former Democrats, are admitting that their protests are paid for. Maybe liberals will look around at the other people at these protests and realize that they don't want to become like them, and they would much rather be like people who are family-oriented, faith-oriented, and love and are grateful for the freedoms that we have in this country. Here is another example of a woman who is leaving the Democrat Party.
There's two things I am not going to be, and that's broke and dumb. These past 4 years I've been... There's two things I am not going to be, and that's broke and dumb. These past 4 years, I've been one of those things steady, and it ain't the latter. Now, in 2020, I was both of those things. I was a twofer. But this time, you don't have to worry about me being no twofer. You ain't got to worry about it.
Twofer?
Because I need my problem solved. I'm not focused on making no history. And if that's all you voting for is history, hang it up. The way we trending, we finna be history. The most population to file bankruptcy. I don't care nothing about how you say stuff. I need my problem solved. And if you gonna solve my problem, I'm with you.
The great thing about the Republican Party is that somebody else isn't going to solve your problems, but it's the recognition that we can solve our problems and we have that capability to do so. And what is so deranged about many liberals is they want you to think that it's the working class, your average people. Even if you're doing fairly well in life and you make $1 million a year, still, you are still in no comparison to these horrible billionaires like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, because there's just such a huge wealth gap, right? But the truth is that this is not a topic of discussion about the ultra wealthy and the rest of the American people. It's not about division. It is about uniting around the fact that we all live in America and that we are so grateful that we have a country that gave the opportunity to some people to be so incredibly wealthy, and that most of us are also going to live incredibly successful and happy lives as well. And the Democrat Party is only good for helping people to hit rock bottom, to make them realize that they need to make some changes, to see some upside in their own lives. Because nobody wants to be broke and dumb. And honestly, these things and the stress that we see in the liberals as they are so frantic and angry all the time is also going to make them pretty unhealthy. So eventually they're going to end up being broke, dumb, and unhealthy. And that just seems like the worst combination of all. And so I'm really happy that some people are able to get out of that horrible trap of the Democrat Party. If there was videos of Republicans doing this, I actually would be incredibly embarrassed.
Imagínate vivir en Europa y perderte esto.
It says, imagine living in Europe and missing this. Tell me that you have never done any sport or gained any special talents in your life without telling me those things. What the heck is this? It's actually so pathetic. Every time I see liberals just making fools of themselves in public, which they literally do in cities all around us every single day in the name of all of these ridiculous causes. They go out, they dance, they hold their signs, they make their chants, they make fools of themselves. And honestly, it just looks to me like the failure to capitalize off of the opportunity in America. We have such a huge multimedia industry, and you can make a living off of content creation or getting into film and production and all of those things. And it just seems like liberals are failing to do that. It's like they're not really getting it or not really understanding. And it just looks like a bunch of really untalented people who have no coordination or storytelling abilities. And they just go out and do these kinds of funny things. And they think that that is how you make it in America or something. But actually, they look very equivalent to homeless people. Actually, I think homeless people are winning a little bit because at least when they go outside with signs, they get paid. And I guess these people are getting paid to go to these protests. But honestly, I don't know if it's worth it to make a fool out of yourself like this. I think that they are going to be losing money in the long run.
I miss the days when people who joined cults dropped out of society.
I miss the days when people just joined cults, dropped out of society. I mean, she's literally talking to us as if we are in a theater class right now.
You want to go drink raw milk? You want to worship a billionaire?
You want to worship a millionaire? I mean, she thinks that she is in a sitcom right now. She believes that she is on the set of some type of film, and having this quirky personality is going to be so attractive. And it's not.
Great! Go do it away from me. I am so tired of their insanity being our problem. You want to be disconnected from reality and you want to talk to us about it? No! If you're going to be this disconnected with reality, I don't want to chat. I don't want to have beef with Canada. I want clean national parks and proper safeguarding of nukes.
I want safe national parks. You should be more connected to reality like I am. I'm very connected with The Simpsons.
What happened to normal people? What happened to normal interactions?
I miss the days when people who joined cults dropped out of society.
I miss the day when people who joined cults. Is she going to break out in a musical number? Her performance was about as good as Rachel Zegler as Snow White. Very inauthentic and a little bit terrifying.
You want to go drink raw milk? You want to worship a billionaire?
You want to worship a billionaire?
I'm so tired of their insanity being...
I'm so tired of their insanity. It's not me who's insane. In some strange way, what I'm actually hearing from her speech is that I studied musical theater or something like that for 5 years, and therefore I'm really educated, and I know how to speak and communicate properly, and you are just a peasant, and you're nothing compared to me because I'm $300,000 in student loan debt that I have to pay back because of the Trump administration. So therefore, I'm really upset. And actually, it's kind of weird how similar my mocking is to how she actually was sounding. It's actually kind of starting to scare me. At some point, I actually do believe that these people are the victims of just way too much television, and they believe that we are living in the Hunger Games, and yet they want to tell us that we're the ones disconnected from reality. And yet this person wrote on their hand, remove, reverse, reclaim. A part of me wonders if growing up they showed us way too many pictures of protests and how they made all of this change, which can be good because they changed a lot of things for the better, except now all of these things are already changed. But now people think that in order to have some type of significance, they also need to go and stand out with signs in hopes that they'll be remembered for fighting. And it doesn't matter what they fight for as long as they're fighting for something. And they just look absolutely ridiculous.
I just made pronoun bracelets and I would like to explain them. This one stands for he, him, so green and blue, more masculine colors.
Oh, yeah.
This one stands for
more
she, her, so
masculine,
pink and
sure.
purple, more feminine color.
Definitely.
And then this one stands for they, them, and it's yellow and orange, which are like gender neutral colors. When I wear this one, it means that I just go by they, them. When I wear these two together, it means I go by she, them. When I wear these together, it means I go by he, them. When I wear all of them, it means that I go by all pronouns. And when I wear these together, it means that I go by she, him. I'm gonna wear them all right now because I go by all pronouns right now. My pronoun, preference has changed 3 times today.
Okay, Demi Lovato.
This does not happen very often with me, but I'm wearing all three right now.
And I don't think anybody cares. This is the thing that I really don't understand about Democrats is they scream about their choices and their freedoms, but they keep infringing on the rights of other people. To force somebody to know or study what your pronouns mean based off of your bracelets is absolutely deranged. That is taking away another person's right to freedom of speech. This person says, POV, you went no contact with your narcissistic MAGA parents.
I had no contact with my parents 2 weeks before the election because they voted. I found out that they voted for Trump for a third time. They came by the other day because they wanted to see me, and I told them I didn't want to see them. So they left a card.
She acts like that's some type of flex, and as if saying, no, I'm not going to see my parents is supposed to be cool. It's actually really sad.
In the door, and because they wanted to see me, and I told them I didn't want to see them, so they left a card.
Why are you sharing this?
And it's some God's love bullshit card, you know.
Wow.
And I thought maybe they'd write something of substance.
Wow, your parents care about you, and even though you told them no, they still reached out to you. So the more that you continue with your story, the more that you're showing that you're kind of not a very nice person. You might be the narcissistic one after all.
And you can keep pushing us away, but we will always be your mom and dad, and we will love you until we die. Love, Mom and Dad. Is that supposed to make me feel better? I, don't care, guys. I just want you to say that you're Nazis now.
What? That is so sad.
It drives me absolutely crazy that my parents will do anything but admit that they were wrong in voting for Trump.
What?
Not once, but 3 times. That's all I've literally asked of them. And they can't do that. They do everything, like send me weird passive-aggressive Christian.
That wasn't weird or passive-aggressive. That was so sad. She's probably not even going to realize what that message meant until they actually do pass away. And then maybe she'll realize how ridiculous everything that she just said was and how ridiculous her behavior was. Her parents try to reach out to her, put politics aside for a second, and she's so indoctrinated in believing that they are horrible Nazis. That's the reason why people leave the Democrat Party. Look at how insane Tim Walz's daughter is.
Running as an act is political, and you know who taught me that?
Okay, wait. You might think that she's saying running in politics is political, but she's actually saying that running with your legs and getting exercise is political, okay? So
running as an act is political, and you know who taught me that? Tim
Your
Walz.
dumb dad.
The first thing he told me when I was first getting into it in high school, granted I don't really do it as much anymore, I go in spurts, but when I was first getting into it in high school, the first thing he told me was that running is a privilege, and being a part of the running community is a privilege that not all people have access to. Whether you do it recreationally or you...
What are you talking about? Anybody can get into running. This has to be like satire. This has to be the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Everybody all around the world, that's the one thing that pretty much anybody, anywhere, all around the world can do is run. Of course, unless they have problems with their legs or they're paralyzed, then I do get that it is a privilege. It's kind of like you never realize how much you use a finger until you break it. So of course we should be grateful for the fact that we can run, but to pretend like it is some special privilege to run is really weird.
People have access to.
Whether
you do it recreationally or you race a lot or you are, at the elite level, it is a privilege. Whether it be you just having the time to run, access to funds to buy the gear, access.
What gear? You don't even need shoes to run. You don't need anything to run.
To, healthy quality foods that fuel you as you're training and as you're running.
Like potatoes and rice, the most accessible foods worldwide.
Access to, a safe, stable situation that allows you to be in a good mental state to be able to run. All of those things are hard to come by. And if you have them and are a part of the running community, that is a privilege. And that, again, was the first thing he taught me. So I don't really understand how platforming and administration that cuts mental health services.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I guess if you put it that way, everything is a privilege. I mean, I can kind of agree with that. I don't really know what she's getting at. Liberals continue to push away other liberals because of how embarrassing they are. And honestly, it doesn't seem like there's much of anything left of the Democrat Party besides just pure insanity. They have no leaders. They're not logical. They're not taken seriously in any way, shape, or form. And I think that that is a really positive thing. It shows that America is healing and things are looking up. Would you please make sure that you're subscribed? Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.